Good morning. We're going to talk about depression today. Depression is one of those things that I have touched on before, and I have mentioned that depression is a gift. In fact, it could be your greatest gift, because the fact that you are depressed is sort of a collateral distribution of the universe. You are depressed so that someone else can be not depressed. Now that sounds completely weird if you haven't heard that before, but it's also the same solution to the problem of evil. Every time you're robbed or defrauded or injured or assaulted, or you lose a child, or you lose a husband or wife, or you go through a health crisis, you're reducing from the sum total of the universe everything that's happening. So it's your injury, it's somebody else's health. And that may not sound like it does anything to you or means anything to you or helps you, but it's absolutely one of the best things that you can ever do. And I'm going to talk about 3 life-changing truths today that I want to make sure I touch on, because I recently had a consult a couple of days ago where the question came up about, am I going to feel better when I lose weight? This is a crucial thing, because in many cases, people have the wrong idea and the wrong motivations for why they want to lose weight. And let me say that on the outset. If you are losing weight because you think that you'll be worth more, as a quote thin person, you're losing weight for the wrong reasons. If you think you'll be better, if you think you'll be a better citizen, a better husband or wife, you may be losing weight for the wrong reasons. If you don't like the fact that your thighs are too big, or there's a cosmetic reason, it's a crapshoot. It may be a legit concern, or it may be a bad body image. And a lot of people lose weight because they have a bad body image. They look at their body and they have a conception about how they should look. That's a wrong conception. But that's different. That could or could not be the case. The fact of the matter is, if you don't like your body, you have the power to change your body. If you think that your thighs are rubbing together, go on OMAD, lose weight. Why are you waiting? Don't mess around about it. But there's also the sense that you have to have a good body image to know how you will look. Because many people lose weight thinking they will look a certain way, when in reality, they don't look that way at all and can never, because they don't have a healthy self-image. So we're going to go over these 3 really big truths. First of all, first big point, especially, all of these are important because, super important, because if you're losing weight, you need to remember these things. Number 1, you look as good as you feel that day. So the fact that you look at yourself and you see a certain image of yourself in the mirror. I'm old, I'm fat, I'm droopy, I'm skinny, I'm too short, I don't have enough muscle, I have too much hanging skin. All of those things, big bombshell here, all of those things don't mean squat. People don't see you as you see yourself. That is the second point. So the first point is, you look as good as you feel that day. If you look in the mirror, and you've heard this before, it's in every self-help course that you could ever happen, which I have no faith in, but if you go to the mirror and you say, I'm a badass player, I am worth $1 million, even if you just don't believe a word of it, and you go and you say those words, you'll be more empowered than you otherwise would have been. And the reason for that is because the body follows the mind and the mind follows the body. If you're tired and you don't want to go on your walk after your meal, but you make yourself do it, you'll find that you have plenty of energy about halfway through. You may be a slow starter, but you'll get started, and your brain will learn what you're trying to do and start doing it for you. So it won't be hard after a while. Same thing with losing weight and with putting off hunger cravings. You will automatically start getting energy when you wouldn't otherwise have it, just because you've taught your brain to do it. But this all starts with the first principle. You look as good as you feel that day. So in other words, you're going to notice the days you feel more positive are the days you look in the mirror and you also think you look better. Not as bad as you did. You'll say, you know what? I'm not that bad. Because you feel better. You feel better. And that goes hand in hand with self-esteem. So if you're a person who is, quote, average in looks, or quote, less than average, the fact that you feel like you matter means you will look as good as you feel. And this will go and be the same thing with others. So touching back on the second point, we've covered the first two. People don't perceive you as you perceive yourself, but instead by how you feel, number one, and number two, by your activity level. That's the second part to the second point. Not only is it how you feel, how empowered you feel about how you look, but it's also your level of activity. I have seen short, really big ladies who had a lot of energy. And every time I saw and see them around the office, ladies who would be considered overweight, because of their level of confidence, self-confidence, because of their level of activity, the fact that at the holiday parties, they were dancing on the dance floor. They were exploring their space. Nobody looked at them and said, hey, that chick is fat. Nobody cares, because this gets back to the first point. You look as good as you feel that day or that week or whatever. You get the point. So never perceive yourself as being a certain way. And this is one of those things that has the effect of undercutting your depression by you realizing this. And if you doubt these points, just spend a few moments reflecting on them and you won't doubt them for long. You look as good as you feel that day. And then people don't perceive you as you see yourself, but instead by your level of self-confidence and by your activity level. So if you're a person who's high energy, who distributes good energy, who goes into the room and explores his or her space, guess what? You're the star of the show. You might as well be 20 pounds lighter. And of course, if you actually lost 20 pounds or 40 pounds or whatever you need to lose, quote, need to lose, you'd feel even better and look even better. Are you starting to see where we're going here? Are you starting to see why the hardware of depression is something that is actually not hardware, it's software? The software of depression is something that you have mistakenly downloaded. It's like a Trojan. You hear about these elderly people who get scammed online by these call centers, and somebody calls and says, your PC has a virus on it, and someone unsuspecting person picks up the phone, usually an elderly person, and they get talked into giving away their money or something crazy. Well, the reason that happens is because they've been tricked. And that's the way the circumstances of life and your lack of education can be. It can trick you into developing basically a Trojan, a virus, something that infects your mind in a very hurtful way. Okay, the principle number 3, that mental battle that goes on in your head, that mental battle for meaning and for being liked and being loved and recognizing when and where you matter. That battle will never end. And I'll tell you this, I had a very good session with someone this week, coaching session, and that person asked, how am I going to feel when I lose all the weight? This person was under the impression that when you get to a point, you just arrive. And I've said this before, you never arrive. But count on generations of people not knowing this just for the fact that they haven't been around that long. You never arrive. You never ever arrive. Everything in life is a stage or a phase. You get up one morning, and the fact that you get up that morning and you say, this sucks, this is terrible, I feel rotten, means you're going to have another day where you say, you know what, it's a good day, I want to get a lot done. And it's that going back and forth that will be with you forever. So if you go through life and you have the expectation that you are going to one day make it, and then you're going to get up and you're going to have the perfect partner, you're going to roll over in bed, and the love of your life is just going to kiss you good morning, and then you're going to get up and you're going to go and you're going to make all sorts of money, and then you're going to have the family dog's going to be perfectly healthy, and everything is going to be great and happily ever after. You've got a lot of disappointment coming, but particularly for people who are depressed, because you keep wondering, what's wrong with me? Why am I the one who's getting crapped on? Why am I the one with the little cloud? You walk around like on the cartoons and there's a little cloud over your head and rain coming down and everybody else seems okay. Not only is it not a real battle, as we've said, it's in you. It's a malicious software installed in the folds of your brain, but it's the misconception that can be easily corrected. You never arrive. because it's that back and forth that makes you with meaning. It's that empowerment that makes you who you are. The fact that you contemplate your meaning makes you different from someone else. Because, bombshell, not everybody does. Some people get up and they don't debate their meaning. They don't debate their place in the universe. They don't debate what their purpose is. They just get up and they do whatever animal urge has come over them. People, some more than others, are very much like animals. They just fulfill the basic senses. So if you are a person who is asking the question, why me? What you are actually doing is you're tapping into that highest, you're using your access card for the highest level of human being. And you have known this as imposter syndrome. It's the fact that you even care about how you come off. It's the fact that you wonder your place in things, which means you are at that next level. Because otherwise you wouldn't care and it wouldn't be real to you. It's like your dog understanding music. Your dog just hears noise. And so they do, sometimes a smarter dog might try to emulate a human, but they don't understand, they don't hear the pitch. You hear the pitch because you're a divine being, essentially. You have a knack for something that others do not have. And therefore, you struggle with what you have termed, and others have termed, depression. Well, here's the bombshell. Depression is just conscientiousness. It's just the one trait that not only makes you a higher being, but it makes you aware, and it makes you self-aware and sometimes predatory. So you're your own worst enemy. You have that annoying cricket on your shoulder that keeps chiming in. I'm weak, I'm this, I'm that. Surely someone will notice how tight this dress is on me. Surely someone will notice how big my thighs are. No, people aren't thinking that at all. And the fact that you're what we call depressed means you're aware. And self-consciousness, or I should say conscientiousness, is the number one trait for success, because you care about matters beyond yourself. So you could actually say that depression is a misaligned spirituality, if you think about it. So those are the truths for today. If you are one of those like me who struggle with the ultimate meaning of it all, confidence, depression, all of those things, why does anything matter? Why does everything matter? You're in good company. So when it gets back to weight loss, whether you're following this channel for the weight loss, whether you're following this channel for the enlightenment, the fasting, the spiritual virtues, whether you believe in prayer or don't, whether you believe in an afterlife or whether you don't, all you need to do is have a basic understanding of these things, and you can actually start to unlock looking beyond what is right now. And what I mean by that is, when you do have a bad day, when you do struggle with meaning and depression, you'll develop the ability to flip that. Oh, I feel like crap. That means I'm probably doing better than I otherwise would do. And you'll learn to do that on the fly. You'll learn to be able to say, I feel bad, therefore others will probably perceive me as good. And when you say that, even if you don't believe it, you'll get enough of a boost to go throughout the rest of your day and change your game. So you can actually go to follow up with the cheesy analogy I made to start with. You can go to a mirror and say, I am a badass player. And just the way you smirk and look at the mirror means the rest of your day, no matter how bad it would be, will be all that much better, that much improved. And again, the fact that you're even in this war, it won't get better, but you don't want it to get better. You don't want to arrive, because if you did, you'd be dumb. Ignorance is bliss. I mean, that's a cliche, I know, but it's absolutely true. Ignorance is bliss, and it's bliss because when you go through life and you don't know, you can never achieve. If you know there's a problem, if you know there's a next level, if you know there's something else to do that you haven't done, then and only then can you succeed.